Welcome to Chasing Tangents, where the best conversations are the ones we never saw coming.
We are Staci and Renee. Grab yourself your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's chase some tangents together.
Awesome. Let's get
Hey,
going.
2
All right,
weeks.
Stacy, we were talking a little bit before we got on,
Yeah.
and you were going to tell a story. So let's hear
Okay.
your story.
So I'm in Nebraska. This is where I'm at right now. We're getting ready to sell the house. So, my story is pretty complicated. It's like, I just have kids everywhere. It's very complicated. People in Nebraska ask very personal questions that I've noticed, like in Texas, I don't feel like I have to explain my life story. I feel like, hey, I'm moving. Okay, great. Have a great time. Good luck with that. Okay. I was pulling into the car wash and there was this 18-year-old telling, and he was supposed to offer me, why aren't you why wouldn't you do a membership? Which he was doing his job. Like, you want to do a membership? And I said, no. I said, if you can see my plates are Texas. We're actually moving to Texas. Oh, well, why are you moving to Texas? Well, my daughter and my granddaughter live there. Oh, so why are you here? Literally, this is an 18-year-old. And I said, well, we have a house. I'm explaining this entire story in the car wash line. But that's what I think Nebraskans, I remember when I broke my foot and I had a cast on, it wasn't like, oh, you poor thing. It was like, oh, tell me what happened to the lady in the grocery store. And I'm like, okay, I fell off my porch. I broke my, but they want to know every detail.
So I have a theory about this.
Okay, because how is it in Wisconsin? And is it the same, or is it Nebraska pretty unique this way?
I think Nebraska is a little unique, and I have a theory.
Right.
I think most people, and the other thing about Nebraska, because I remember Hillary was the only kid that was of a divorced family on her cheerleading team her whole time.
No.
I think one finally got divorced, but they get married, they stay together, their kids stay in town, their parents are there, their grandparents are there, their great grandparents. And I have a theory that most of the people that are in Nebraska live there are from Nebraska. Their parents are from Nebraska, and it goes all the way back to the settlers that were coming across on the Santa Fe Trail or the Oregon Trail. And they got to Nebraska and they're like, done, not going anymore.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Dug in.
Or they saw the mountains.
They built their sod houses and they settled and they just literally stopped.
Yeah.
And so, but if you look around, what is there in Nebraska other than corn and Omaha and Lincoln? It's like, what is the joke? There's Omaha, Lincoln, and Nebraska. Yeah. And I think they're just bored. They don't have that. And I'm probably insulting everybody that's from Nebraska.
I was gonna say, wow, Renee, this is because I'm a Nebraskan. I have a different theory about it.
Okay, let me hear your theory. You remember, I'm from people in the South, and my family did the same thing. Yeah. They came over pre-revolution. Yeah. They got to Virginia, ended up in Georgia, and that was it. They were done.
Yeah.
And then all of my family they don't go anywhere. They're all there. And I don't know if it's I call it like the roots got set centuries ago and just
isn't a bad thing. I mean, roots are good.
Right. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I feel like, you say there's nothing in Nebraska, but I do believe that the people in Nebraska truly have never met a stranger.
They're the nicest people in the world. They do not
feel.
There's an innocence.
Right. Okay, for this 18-year-old to ask me those questions, he did not see me as somebody that is driving through it as a stranger. Mm-hmm. He saw me as a person that he could have this kind of intimate conversation with, which I think is good. Even at that age, I think is a good thing, but also I feel like I have explained, and because my story is so complicated, I find myself not lying. not lying, but leaving tons of parts out.
And maybe that's the point of trying to make it complicated, because you're moving, you're back and forth. You're not a typical Nebraskan who,
No, no.
Dan and Kelsey are Nebraskans. And
Yeah.
I feel like they are very typical Nebraskans. They were raised in Nebraska. Well, Dan considers being raised there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to raise their kids in Nebraska. Her parents are there. I think they're originally from Kansas. Their kids are going to grow up there, probably go to University of Nebraska. Or Wesleyan. That's sort of how it works.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I think it's precious because there is an innocence. There is, when they talk about Southern hospitality, Southern hospitality is disingenuous. It is so surface. In Nebraska, it is truly because they've never met a bad person. I remember thinking there's no divorce. There's no, you don't hear about the kid that
being
went to
divorced
jail.
is bad. Being divorced does not make you a bad person.
No, because I'm one of them.
I know. So. I get what.
But it was hard for Hillary.
My story, when I start telling my story, I mean, it's fascinating. They're like, how did 3 kids raised in Nebraska all end up everywhere? And I'm like, yeah, not on purpose. Like, it's not like we did not set out. I mean, because we were in St. Louis. We always wanted to come back because our parents were here.
Right.
And we knew that like the school systems were great, so we wanted to come back. Mm-hmm. So that was always our goal. When I built this house, the house that I'm sitting in, that's just about empty. When I built this house, it was like, this is it. There's enough room for all 3 kids to come back to visit, that we've got plenty of room. It's going to be great. We're staying here. I mean, that was my intention. Like, I'm going to live in Eagle, Nebraska for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out. I had no intention of moving to Austin, Texas. None. When my daughter left for Austin, I stood at the doorway and bawled. I was like, goodbye. But I just knew, but I was never like, I'll see you soon and I'll be living there with you, 6 years ago or 7 years ago. No way. I was never going to move to Austin. So I guess, you have to be open, and especially never moving to Paris. I never even thought I'd ever visit Paris. Like, Paris wasn't even on my bucket list, of places like I really, really want to go see Paris. It just wasn't there. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was nothing to me. Now it's like, I've gone 5 times. We're committed to going every year because my daughter's there. So it's just, my story is just so weird. And
especially for a Nebraskan.
Right. And so then when people start asking, I'm like, and my son just got married. Oh, he got married. Where are they going to live? Okay. Well, that's another story, because immigration, and they're not together and they're trying to get together. I mean, it's just like, everything is just a story. But speaking of Jordan, so tangent, here we
Chasing
go.
That tangent. Let's do it.
This tangent. Jordan is going to move to Austin with us.
Oh, okay.
He had debated back and forth between Lincoln and Austin. He had just, what's going to be the best, what's going to be, and I had said at one point, and he had agreed, like, to sign a lease is going to be a little risky, because you just don't know when visa stuff happens, and he could go there. Then he'd be stuck in a year-long lease and have to pay out sublet. Mm-hmm. Well, and so he's going to live with us for a bit. We're gonna go, and then we're gonna like take a beat. We're gonna get there, get settled. This house will be sold. Everything will be moved, and we're gonna just like, and then see where we're at with immigration, where we're at with all this stuff. So.
Who would have thought your married son would be moving home, And
the thing is like, he is the most minimal, like literally takes up a room. He is very minimalistic.
Well, and he was sort of the first to leave too, because he ended up, what was it, Colorado?
Yep.
Yeah.
He went
So
to,
he was
well,
kind of the
besides
first.
Riley's study abroad, but yeah, he went to Colorado,
Right. Right.
left, and he was there for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back for, I want to say, maybe 2 years, and then went all the way to Oregon. That's kind of where they have their eye if they came to the States.
The Pacific Northwest,
Is
that
it
area.
Portland? Yeah, is that Oregon? They have their eye there. I'm not sure that Miriam, my daughter-in-law, has an exact comprehension of the United States and how
Most,
big it is.
right. Most Europeans, and they don't
Because you
know.
go the distance between Texas and Oregon in the Europe, and you're in a different country, 3 or
Right.
4 different countries,
I was
possibly.
about to say you've crossed probably 8 borders to get
Right,
there.
right. Where here it's like it's the same
I mean,
country.
Texas or Alaska.
It takes forever to get out of Texas. We leave Austin, and 5 hours later we're still freaking in Texas. If we hit Dallas traffic, we're still in Texas. I mean, once we get out of Texas, it's like the Audubon,
Yeah.
the turnpike is like boom. But getting out of Texas is, yeah, you're right. Texas is huge. I mean, my other daughter-in-law's parents live in Texas. They live 8 hours away.
Wow.
They live 8 hours away from Austin.
And in the same state.
In the same state.
Yeah.
And it takes 8 hours to get, because they live
Well,
by
Florida's
water.
like that too, because Florida, if you go from, say, Miami over to Pensacola, that's 9 hours for sure.
Yeah.
And people, I remember we ran into somebody and they think they were Italians when we were in Ireland. And I said, I'm originally from Florida. And they said, oh, do you know so-and-so? I said, where does so-and-so live? And I don't know, maybe Miami or Orlando.
Yeah.
You know, one of those. And I'm like, Miami or Orlando, that's another 4.5 hour drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when I lived in New York, everybody would say, do you know Johnny Carson? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Buddies.
Yes, I do. He is one of my best friends. He's my uncle, actually. Yes. And we live next door.
Yeah, there's 12 of us that grew up in Nebraska.
Nebraska is not, I mean, yes, it's definitely, especially when you get out west. I mean, it is definitely small town. Even the bigger towns like Kearney and North Platte are small town. They're small.
Kearney is tiny. I mean, comparatively.
Comparatively, and it's lovely. I went there for a bit. My best friend from college, her daughter is having a baby, and I went for the baby shower. I got to go, which is timing. She was like, hey, they're having a baby shower tomorrow, and blah blah blah. You know, I was just checking in. I didn't get invited, and so I was like, hey, what if I surprised Steph and came to the baby shower tomorrow? And she's like, oh my gosh, she would love it. She goes, I won't tell her, it'll be great. Well, she has ran a dance studio for years and years and years. So it was the dance moms that were giving, that's a whole nother, we're giving the shower, like these like 10 dance moms. So I walk into this little, it was a flower shop that has a little like event area. So I walk in, it's on a Sunday afternoon, and I walk in with my gift a little, you know, I got there a little early, and they all looked at me like, I think you're in the wrong place. This is a private event. And I said, I'm Stephanie's Aunt Staci. And they were like, oh, okay. They were like, who is this woman?
Well, you know, just to kind of yet another tangent, dance in Nebraska is serious business. It is serious business.
The
and
one girl said she's
like,
been dancing since 2. Her daughter's been dancing since 2, and she's 16. Stephanie's had her the whole time.
Oh, they all go to college and dance. They go.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, okay, one of my obsessions is that DCC making the team, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. Like 3 of them are from Nebraska. And this is one of the hardest auditions. And it's like a 6-week audition.
Yes.
It is insanity.
Yes.
And 3 of them at some point were in the last couple of years are from Nebraska.
I feel like there's like dance, volleyball
for sure.
Football. I mean, we don't have professional teams. And so you have to find something that's not Kansas City to do,
Right.
like to support or whatever. And so it's just like, yeah. So it's very
It's
intense.
serious business.
And so, yeah, so Stephanie's been doing that for years, and now she's going to have a baby. And it's just like,
Oh,
yes, it's their first grandchild. So, and it's a girl. So it's super exciting. We are also so excited to be grandparents together. It's the best,
love it.
it's the best.
Mhm.
But Jordan is coming. So that's that. Okay. So I was talking about that. Nebraskans. There was another thing I was going to talk about. Oh, I got my eyebrows microbladed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that like a tattoo? What is
Yeah. So my
microblading?
sister does it. My little
Oh,
sister. She's a nurse, so I kind of trust her with a
right.
needle in my face. She took a big course to do it. I mean, she's trained. This is like the third time she's done it, and the first time it was so funny because
They look great.
thank you, but the first time she did it, I was like, I look like Angry Birds, like because I had never done anything with my eyebrows, nothing, maybe waxed them, but never filled them in, nothing. So they were basically turning gray and invisible.
Mhm.
And then you get this done, and you're like, oh
They
my
frame
God,
your eye. It just pops your eye open.
it
I used to
does.
tell when I
It,
did, I was a makeup artist, and when I did makeup, I would tell people we're starting with the eyebrow.
it
And
does. It makes a huge difference. So she on her birthday, which I'm like, is this unkind of me to come to for your birthday and you're doing this for me? And she's like, no, she loved it. So, but on her birthday, I just laid down in her, she's got a table, and she pulled it into the living room, laid down in the living room, and she had all of her stuff, and we did it. And like,
it looks really good.
yeah, it turned out really good. She does it
So do you have to redo it, or is it one and done?
you're supposed to redo it every 2 years. And
Oh,
people
okay.
were coming back to her every year, because this is the third time I've had mine done since I moved to Austin. So,
Mhm.
they were going, she said, this is going to last longer, which I did notice. It was a little more painful
Mm.
because she said she went to a refresher and she was doing it. And the gal said, you need to get a little deeper. You're not, your hand is
You're
too,
not causing enough pain.
well, yeah, your hand is too light. So then people were having to come back for touch-ups, which was making
Mm.
her do like kind of double and triple the work.
Oh, gotcha.
So she said,
Mhm.
just, that they put lidocaine on. She does a lidocaine patch first, and she does it all. I mean, but I definitely could tell
This time.
it went deeper. And so she said, this is going to last for at least 2 years. And I'm like, great. So there's my microblading.
Sounds like it's worth it. So
Yeah.
one last thing I wanted to talk about before we start talking about your stories is, or your story,
My story.
is we had talked about last time, and we didn't get to it last time. And I wanted to cover the shopping cart theory.
Okay. Yes.
The
Yes.
shopping
I
cart
have.
theory.
Okay. Yes. Good. I want
Okay,
to
so
hear
the
your story. Yeah.
reason that I wanted to cover the shopping cart theory is because now that I'm back at work full time and I work in a very luxurious, a luxury high-end retail setting.
Right.
And because of that, our philosophy is customer's always right. That's rule number one. Rule number two is if you think the customer is wrong, refer back to rule number one. Customer's always right, which means people take advantage of our customer service because we're known for our customer service. So
Mm.
when they go into our fitting rooms, we don't count. We don't give them, the little marker that says you've got 6 or you've got 5, you've got to bring 5 back. We just let them go. They can bring their shopping bags with them, their backpacks. There's no sort of overseeing what they're doing in there. And because customer's always right, correct? And so the other night I had a lady, we had this, I would say I counted 42 pieces that she had in her room. And she bought one thing and she left most of it on the floor, some of it inside out, and left. And it's 8:25. We close at 9. And I was furious. And she didn't even ring up her purchase with me. She went to someone else to ring it up. So I grabbed the other person and I kind of say, all right, you just got that $500 sale. You're going to come with me and help me clean this up.
Yeah.
And the lady heard me. And so she starts telling me that I thought the customer was always right. So she starts schooling me on being upset that she's like, I'm the customer. I'm allowed to do this. This is my right as a customer in this store is to
No
leave.
way.
Yes. And I said, well, I did ask you. She goes, you're a liar. You never asked me anything. And I went, I'm so sorry. You're right. And the more I'm so sorry, I have nothing to say. I'm so sorry. You're right. And I said it again and again. And so then finally, she goes, well, that's something. And she storms out. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Now I'm going to get a customer complaint, And so anyway, this leads me to my shopping cart theory.
Oh my God, yes.
So the shopping cart theory is when you are at like a Walmart or the grocery store and you have all your groceries in your shopping cart and you roll them out to your car and you put your groceries up. Now you've got an empty shopping cart. You know what you're supposed to do with that cart. You know in your heart, you're supposed to take that cart and put it in the caddy. Worst, that's the easiest way. Or if it's full, you take it all the way up to the store. Right. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
That person that leaves it sitting in the middle of the parking lot, it says something about their character because they know what they're supposed to do.
Right. Well, why are those corrals there if you're not supposed to put it in there?
Right. Exactly. So this goes back to that woman knew she had been wrong. She knew that while, yes, we offer exceptional customer service, we are not your servant. We aren't there to make it so that you can just toss and again, high-end clothes. I'm talking $300-$400 pieces. I'm not talking, juniors $20 jeans. I'm talking like our jeans are $200. I'm talking designer clothing. And she treated it like that. And so anyway, so that's the shopping cart theory. So probably what happened is she knew she was wrong, but she blamed it on me.
Yeah.
Because I was upset. And she knew she was wrong.
But also there's a difference between customer service and abuse.
Right.
And I don't know your managers. I don't know anything about it. But to me, if I was a manager, and when I was a manager, because I was a director of sales, basically.
Right.
It was admissions, but it was sales.
Yeah.
I always had my recruiters' backs because there were people that came and said, no, they did this or they said that or they were this. And I always had their backs because I trusted my recruiters. They were giving the best customer service. And if somebody, so yes, the customer's right, you do stuff. But if there was a conflict, I always had their backs and they knew that.
So my managers don't. My managers are young.
You have that.
No, my managers are young.
A company-wide thing or just your store?
No, well, when I say managers, I mean, I'm second from the top, so.
But they should have your back.
They don't have
anything.
They don't have, and as a matter of fact, part of the problem was the floor manager, the person that's ahead of me. Her job was to let me know somebody was in there. She didn't even let me know. So she was the one that let her in. So that partly it was her fault. Because if I had known the woman was there earlier, I could have started grabbing clothes out at 8:00
And so maybe she felt, and I don't know, the woman felt
she
a little
was ignored,
neglected,
But I did say something because I saw the door shut and I saw her feet and I was like, are you okay in there? Crickets. And then I was helping the other person. Are you okay in there? Sure. I need a size here, so-and-so.
Yeah.
So she claims, anyway, it's a he said, she said. But the point is that
they should still have your back.
Right. And
you are a great employee and you have been for years. And you're a great salesperson. You've brought in
right.
a lot
I have a huge clientele. People, as a matter of fact, people come in for me. Yes. And let me tell you, this is not my dream job, as you know. This is a job that I work because I need the insurance.
Exactly.
But I'm a person that if I'm going to go into work, I'm going to give you 130%.
Exactly.
Because
which is to your detriment sometimes.
Yes,
It
100%.
it physically wears you out.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
they
I
take
think the
advantage of that.
emotional toll that it takes does take an effect on your physical as well. Because you,
Well,
like
and
you said,
people
you're
like that.
stuffing all the
Yep.
time, you're stuffing, these emotions while you're there, like, okay,
Because
okay,
when I brought it to the manager, the store
yeah,
person that was there, she was all, well, the customer's always right. You're not supposed to say anything when they're still in the store. I said, well, she had left. She knew I was upset because she came back around. I mean, because she knew. I think it was like she knew something was going to be said. And I just thought the whole thing was just ugly. And for
mhm,
99% of my customers, they're amazing, they're appreciative.
right, right,
But there's the 1%, the shopping cart theory, that they don't care. They assume, and I've
hmm,
heard people say that. I've said, aren't you going to put the cart away? Well, they pay people for that.
yeah,
Yes and no. They pay people to work. That's only one of their many jobs. You
right.
can make their job a little easier because how far is it to put the shopping cart away?
Well,
You
in
know?
one negative experience, it says it takes 10 positive, like when you're,
Yeah,
reading the parenting books or whatever, you say one negative thing to your kid and you need to do 10 positives it's the same theory.
right,
One negative experience can just like ruminate. You need 10 positives to even make it go away. And it's
right.
like, that's exhausting.
It is exhausting, and
It's
it's more exhausting
exhausting.
as to swallow it, and
Oh, to not
and
be
I'm one
able
of
to
those
just
people that,
head
there are
butter.
people that would have gotten themselves fired
Right. I'd
because
like
they
to
would
head
have
butter in
gotten
the
into it
mouth.
with it. Yeah, they would have
Wouldn't that
gotten
have been
into
a
it with her.
dream? Just go boom. Bye. Take care.
So this goes back to, you were talking last time about the airplane where people get up and just move forward. It's the same thing. Those people, they don't care about other people. There's a hard-heartedness in
It's
this world,
crazy.
really.
It's
People
crazy.
are so hard-hearted now. It's all about what's in it for me.
So you're going to love this Corsica story. It's going to be, I mean, I'm bougie saying Corsica, but we were staying in this little town that was a military town called Calvi, and it has
Okay.
a huge citadel. And in the citadel is a restaurant that faces the sunset. So you make a reservation, you go, you get your seat.
Love
There's
it.
this
Yep.
beautiful bluff, and then the
Ooh,
sun is set. I mean, and you get in your we had our
paradise.
charcuterie
Paradise.
board, our wine. And it was like sun goes down at like 8. It's later there, like the sun actually set at like 8:55.
Well,
So
you're
we're
closer to
there.
the equator. Yeah.
Yeah, we're there at 8:30. We're having our thing. We're watching the sun. We're visiting everybody at 8, and everybody's getting ready. Like at 8:45 or so, people are starting to kind of go down to take a little, to kind of get into position. At 8:50, these two 20-year-olds weren't at the restaurant, go up onto the bluff in front of the sunset.
Of course.
Like literally between us and the sunset, and start a selfie photo shoot
Of themselves.
of
Yeah.
themselves in front of the sunset.
Females, girls.
Completely, they were, Riley thought that they were Italian. Like she heard an Italian,
Mhm.
language. Oh, I mean,
Ruined it for everybody.
oblivious. I have to believe oblivious, because there were 30 of us who had made a reservation to watch the sunset, and there are two girls right in the, and look, people were like, look, we were all looking at each other like, are we on camera? Is this being, like, is this
I
for
would
real?
say they weren't just oblivious. They didn't care.
They could have
They
cared
could
less,
have
and they
cared
stayed
less.
there and did that for the entire sunset.
Of
Like we
course.
missed this, we saw the sunset with two girls
Okay, see now me, I would have yelled at them, move.
well, I was kind of, I mean, I was waiting. We were all just like breathing. Like I was waiting for somebody to say something.
Yeah, because it's why do we always have to be the police?
I
You
and
know,
I was with Riley and
the polite
Jerry,
police.
and I was like, I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to be the Karen that goes, "Can
Right.
you please move?" And plus, I didn't want to get into an altercation because of the way they were. I can see them totally going, "No, it's our sunset." Like this is free. Like you
So
didn't.
yeah, I told you about the girl, and she was in her 20s, and
Yeah.
she was trying on clothes in the middle of the fitting room and brought her boyfriend in with her, which is a
Mhm.
no-no because I've got
Mhm.
old ladies, young women, they
Yeah.
don't want a man in the women's fitting room. And
Exactly.
so he's standing there and she's showing her clothes off. And I said, "Can you two move over to the edge, just right over there so you're not in the middle of the fitting room?" And she goes, "No, I'm going to stay right here." And I said, "Well, then, sir, can you move?" I said, "Because there are women that are uncomfortable that you are here." And the girl goes, "No, he's staying right here." And so all my little old ladies leave. I
Yeah.
mean, I lost sales, I lost everything because she was being,
See, and I would have probably gone and gotten security.
well, and he was off that day because
Oh,
this is how bad in Madison, how bad employment is. We only have one LP and we never know when he's working, and he wasn't there that day.
oh, shoot.
And it was yeah,
Well, and so those are things that yeah, I have
this
to.
goes back to let them, but I feel like going back to what you were saying, yes, let them means instead of shoving it down and getting angry about it, finding a way to reframe it so we see that these are people that they're going to be, sorry, assholes in this world.
Right.
And there are going to be people who are oblivious, who don't care, who are going to leave clothes on the floor, turned inside out for the
Ruin
shop,
the sunset for everybody.
ruining the
Yeah.
sunset for everybody, running away customers because the boyfriend is too passive. Because I could tell he was uncomfortable, too
Yeah.
passive to stand up to the girlfriend. And so we just have to understand that and say, let them and try and
We
work
gotta
around
let
it.
them do that. And otherwise my stress level is,
Oh,
and Jordan mentioned last night how stressed he's like, "You're so stressed, mom." And I'm like,
oh, of
I
course you
know. And
are.
I'm trying not to be, but like,
You've got a lot.
I mean, I feel like I walk into a room to get something, to pick up something, and 30 minutes later, I've redone the room, I've emptied a drawer, I've got, and I'm like, what was I don't even know what I was going to. I left my glasses at a coffee shop. Never in my life have I left my
Yeah, that's
reading
not
glass.
that's not Alzheimer's or stuff or whatever.
No, this is
That's
just
that's
this
chaos in your brain.
in my brain.
So
So
let's
that
talk
leads
about
us,
the writing.
yes, that leads us to
No.
very difficult for me to write because my brain is everywhere. I think about my girls, I think about the story, and then I get home and I'm like, oh, I'm too exhausted to sit and like write. So,
So I have two things to say
okay,
about that.
okay,
Okay.
and I'm going to write them
Okay. So
down.
the first thing, or two, first of all,
Suggestions.
this is very normal. So yeah, two suggestions
Okay,
because
so I'm
you are in
not
a season of life that is very, very difficult.
okay.
So the first one is give yourself a break. And if you don't get any writing done for the next 3 weeks until you're moved, allow that to be okay. Actually, I have three suggestions. That's one. And I have a feeling that's probably your least favorite is to just
I
say, I'm
just
not going
did
to
you
do it.
see me look up? I went,
Yeah. So that's your least favorite.
allow it to be okay. Okay,
Yeah.
got
So
it.
that's number one, that you can't get anything done. And just understand that, it's just not going to happen right now. It's the season. Number two, the second suggestion is this is your treat. This is just for you, this writing your book. You're not on a deadline. You don't owe a book to a publisher.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for your kids. You're doing it for Staci. Writing this book is for you. So treat it as a treat. It is like you talked about, it's a privilege to be able to do this. You are getting the opportunity to write a story that is calling to you. So instead of looking at it as I didn't get to write, Look
Yeah.
at it as I get to write today, even if it's only 10 minutes. I get to do this for me. It's my one
Mm.
spot in the day that
Mhm.
I am doing this for Staci. I'm not doing this for my kids, for my husband, for the move, for the grands. This is all about Staci and embrace that. So that's my
Yeah.
second. The third one is kind of the hardest, but the most productive is you need to find out when is your best time to write. And I think I know you well enough because I'm the same way. It's got to be first thing in the morning. It's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
before you
Anything
get
else that comes
anything
in.
else in your head. Because I used to be like that when I was on deadline and I had to get, even just like I'm getting ready to go to the dentist. If I had to go to the dentist, if I had to go to the doctor, if I had to pick up Hillary from school, if I had whatever, a hair appointment, if
Yeah.
I didn't, if I, and I always made them in the morning, stupid,
Mhm.
I would come home, I was
Couldn't
dead
write.
for the day.
Yeah.
At afternoon, after 12 noon, I was not going to get any writing done.
No.
So what I learned, and when I was on deadline, I would get up, I'd throw on yoga pants, a t-shirt, a ball cap, and I'd go to the coffee shop or go to the room where I wrote, and I would write first before I did anything else. I get my coffee, I grab, a piece of toast, and I would write first before you get the crap in your head.
Yeah.
Then it's done. You've got the
That's true. Yeah.
rest of the day. Say what?
That's true. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
done. And
You've
that's
got
what
the
Stephen
rest
King
of the
did. Yeah.
day
Stephen
to
King said
do
that.
all that other stuff that is giving you stress. Because I bet part of your stress is I'm not getting any writing done. I'm not
Yeah.
getting any writing done. I want to get some writing done. And you're filling your head too much. And so now you can't focus.
Yeah.
And now the other thing I do is I write in the morning. And if I don't get it done in the morning, it's not happening. The only time was if I was 2 weeks from deadline and I was deep into the book. Then you can write anytime because the book's
Yeah.
almost done. It's a
Yeah.
different story. I have a playlist that I put on
Yeah.
that immediately the muse appears.
Yeah.
Put my
Mine's George
earbuds
Winston
in.
piano. Yep.
Some
Hmm.
some light a candle. There are people that just set up their writing scenario. I used to
Yeah.
have a little prayer that I said. I would lift up my prayer. I would have my board of inspirational quotes. I'd read through them, put in my earbuds, start it, and then boom,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Knowing you, I think we're a lot alike in that.
Yeah. We are.
That would be my number one, even though I gave it to you third. Your best
I could do it.
suggestion.
Stephen King did it by words. So he made himself write 2,000 words. Does that sound
That
off?
would be something that he would do.
Like
If
2,000
I were
words
you,
instead of,
I would do like 1,000 words. So if you do it in single space or double spaced, 25 lines a page in New Times Roman, 1,000 words is 3 pages.
right. And so he said he would make himself write at least that,
Mm-hmm.
and then he could be done and go
Yeah.
do, because I haven't even really been able to read
Mm-hmm.
because I'm kind of muddled up and kind of all over the place with my reading even.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like I'm basically just getting by, and that's okay. In this next couple of weeks, we put the house up today. So the guy's coming to take pictures. So then I won't have to live like a mausoleum so much. Like my closet is empty.
Yeah.
All of my clothes are in suitcases in the garage. So when I go to get ready, I have to go get my suitcase.
I mean, that's not stressful at all.
At all. So as soon as he takes these pictures and gets all that, then we can kind of put stuff back a little bit for showings. I mean, because the pictures are the most important,
Right.
To get people to, and so we can have some stuff around for
Just life.
showing. Yeah, life
Right.
stuff. I mean, we live here. So as long as it's nice and tidy, on the surface, but
So I would tell you, I did that for a long time. And when I
do that,
worked
yeah.
and I was doing it, and I'd go in at 8 a.m., I would get up at 6 or 5:30 and I would get 500 words that day. When I
Okay.
didn't go until noon, I try and get 1,500 words.
Okay.
It adds up fast.
Okay.
And then on my days off, I get 2,000. So if you've got a big day, just give yourself a break. Get 500 words. 500 words is like 2 pages.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
No.
And I've started to kind of, okay, so this is, I had written pretty far into like this kind of Christian literature, a Christian nonfiction, right?
Right.
About faithfulness. I called it obedience, but I've changed it to faithfulness.
Mm-hmm.
I am weaving my faith journey into this book.
That's smart. I love it.
Yeah, like the dad, how I want the dad to end up. I mean, it would be nice if it was the mom, but she's dead. She died, but she was kind of set, or he's a little bit more where I have been in my life. And so I'm weaving it in. Anyway, so I'm still doing stuff, and I'm still kind of like,
it's percolating. It's what we call percolating.
Your suggestion last week about captivity and the true missionary, that this Blake, I named him Blake, and I don't even know why. Blake is such a bougie name, but I named him Blake. Is the true missionary that comes, and he had heard about the missing missionary daughter in seminary when he was in seminary, and then he sees a glimpse of this blonde in the jungle, and he's like, what in the heck? So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Like
very much.
Yes.
Love that.
So he sees her, and I did write that. I wrote, and I'm writing every time I'm writing from their own perspective,
which is good.
Yeah. And so I just put Blake, and then I write from that. And it's kind of cool because he was not raised in a Christian home or anything. He came to faith a little bit later, and then decided to go to seminary, and kind of has it where the father is going to end up.
So he's kind of fun and messy and real and
he's messy. He's still great. He's leading this team, but he's leading it with a very servant. Like, we're just going to see, we're going to learn from them. We're going to serve them. We're not going to go in and try to save them. And then he sees her.
I love that. That's going to be so good. So then just give yourself a break, no matter what. And if you don't get 500 words, you don't get 1,000 words, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I would, and I know we talked about this a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but at the beginning, find that same time every day. And right now you're really in chaos, but you still have your early mornings, and you're an early morning person.
Remember, Jerry's getting up at 4.
Yeah. I mean, we used to go to the gym at 5:30.
I know. Right. So Jerry's getting up at 4, kisses me goodbye, and he leaves. And so then I go back. So I easily can get up at 5:30 and start writing and get some.
You'd be done by 6:30. I mean, you would be done. Yeah. Before 7.
With all my exercising and everything. So, I mean, I still do my other little routine. I've been really trying to keep up with that because I have to do something. I have to keep something routine.
Right.
But it looks like we're kind of out of time.
We are, because I'm going to the dentist, and we've been a yapping.
Yep.
So next week we'll just see where we are.
Yes.
And I am on a regular schedule. I don't have any of these appointments. So 9 o'clock.
So 9 o'clock. So this was our 20th.
I know.
20th podcast. So yay.
Chasing stories, which is what we did. We told a lot of stories today.
I know. I love it. So I thought it was good. So, okay. We'll be next week at 9 o'clock. That'll be great.
So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.